swipe that nose in the ass like a credit card, James.
Beans World, I hope you all had a great holiday. Once again, we are back with another show. My name is Matt Stoner here with Stephen Anthony Lawrence and Max Rice. This week, we have special guest James Inman here for us. He is the winner of the 1997 San Francisco International Comedy Competition and star of Doug Stanhope's The Unbookables. Anyways, let's jump right into it. So, unfortunately, we did have a tragedy happen on Christmas Day this year. 2 days ago in Nashville, Tennessee, there was a huge blast that occurred outside of an AT&T, some sort of AT&T system. Few things of what we know so far. The current suspect is named Anthony Q. Warner. He allegedly parked an RV outside of some sort of AT&T recording device. He was afraid there was some sort of 5G spying going on, and at 6:30 a.m. started playing a recording saying that he was going to blow up this RV. 3 people were injured. We had a bunch of destroyed buildings, and that is what we know so far. So, obviously, a tragedy, another case of homegrown terror. Gentlemen, have at it. What do we think?
Well, I mean, they are spying on us. I mean, whether or not they use 5G or not,
That's
the NSA, they were spying on us before 9/11. And have you heard of Five Eyes? Five Eyes is the intelligence community that represents Canada, Australia, New Zealand, United States, and United Kingdom. So they all work together. But before 9/11, what they would do to get around the Constitution is they'd tell Australia, hey, spy on us, and then we'll give you guys the stuff that we collect from you. So we were still collecting, scooping up large amounts of data even before 9/11 from inside the country. Read any of James Bamford's books. He wrote The Puzzle Palace, which almost got censored. Like the entire book, it was one of the first books that almost got like totally censored. And then the other one I read was Body of Secrets, which is a great book about the NSA.
James, so you're saying that that we're allowing foreign countries to spy on us as long as they share that data?
Well, I mean, the countries we work with, I mean, all countries spy on all other countries. America, we've got the best technology, of course, I mean, it's not like Paraguay is going to be doing much, spying on us, but yeah, we
What do you think about the attack, James? Like, I was always curious about.
Like, the attack. You want to talk? Oh, right.
Specifically the attack.
Well, I mean, from what I know about the NSA, from just reading James Bamford's books, and from what I know from what I can do on my own computer, the amazing things I could do. Let's say I have a document. I have a Word doc, not Word. Say I've got a notepad, and it's 23 terabytes of scrambled words. I could open up that notepad, I could type in one word, and I could instantly find that word on my computer. So the things that you have in your house, just extrapolate that to like 10 million the NSA has. They not only are they scooping up all this information, they have certain people that they're watching. I mean, what I don't understand is
probably us after this episode, James.
Yeah, seriously.
What?
My problem though is I think there's a line. Obviously, we know the government's going to be spying on us because of the Patriot Act and even a bunch of
because Edward Snowden told us.
Because Edward Snowden told us the man's a hero. That being said, I think there's a bit of a line between what we know about versus Trump saying that Obama is spying on him through the microwave.
Right. Well,
Obamagate.
See,
Obamagate.
James,
yeah, I know.
The allegation a little bit about the Five Eyes. They accused other foreign agencies spying on Trump, like with American approval. No.
First of all, everything is recorded in the White House. Every phone call is recorded. When Trump said Obama tapped my phone, CNN and MSNBC came out and said, haha, he's so stupid. They didn't tap his phone. He just used the wrong word. The FBI taps your phone. The NSA scoops everything up. I don't know what word they use, but it's the same exact thing. I mean, they'll come out, they'll tell Congress, oh, we're just getting metadata. No, they're getting everything. They've got hard drives underground in Utah scooping up every fucking phone call, every email, every bank transaction, everything.
Metadata is. That's why it's so funny.
Well, I mean, yeah, but when they talk about phone calls, metadata is, oh, it's just the number that is called and the number the guy's calling or whatever. We don't actually get the no, they have programs that they don't even have to have humans listen to it anymore because they can hear the voice and a computer program can write out what that fucking phone call said.
Black bear. Like they say the phrase black bear and they automatically are alerted.
Well, I mean, but the man's a past president. You know, he's hopefully nowadays after the whole Hillary Clinton BS, and well, obviously they haven't learned the lessons. Why aren't these people using secure lines? Why don't we have that by now?
Well, yeah, you would think. I mean, I would assume that, you know, a smart president like Obama, you know, he had a special phone that he used. And of course, you can have a second phone for your own personal use. You know, if you're not talking about anything that has
you say
to do
Obama
with
had a
national
trap phone?
security. They've got secure phones. I mean, you know, that are encrypted and all that kind of stuff. But the thing with Trump is, Trump is stupid, but he's so goddamn stupid that he says truthful things that no other president would be dumb enough to say.
Oh yeah, about like the military-industrial complex, James. Like when he said, they're just mad we're not bombing other countries because they're not making money.
Yes, Trump did. See, that's another thing about that liberals. Another thing that liberals don't give Trump any credit on is he ran on a platform of bringing the troops home. Right when he started talking about Syria, where he's talking about, hey, we need to get out of Syria, and Hillary Clinton goes, oh, we need to trust our intelligence agencies and ISIS this. I was like, oh, fuck, she's going to lose right when she started talking about that. The thing of it is, people forget CNN and MSNBC. Just fucking forget what they say, all right? We've been at war for 20 years. Everyone fucking knows that. Obama ran on a platform to bring the troops home. Everyone fucking voted for him. Trump, when he ran, he said, I'm going to bring the troops home. He won, all right? Now, the news media said, oh, Russia helped him win. No, bullshit. Here's the thing about Republicans are the ones who have been sending their kids to this war. I've got my uncle's Republican. His son has been over there 8 times. They're tired of that war. So, of course, you know, when Trump says, this war has gone on too long, Republicans are like, fuck, I'm voting for that guy. I mean, it's obvious. So, but here's the weird thing. Obama and Trump both said they're going to bring the troops home. Neither one could do it. Obama couldn't even close down Guantanamo. I mean, who's running this country? Our elected leaders or the military-industrial complex, which is what Eisenhower warned us about years. I mean, so anyway.
So the Nashville bombing, what happened? No, I'm just kidding.
You know, but that's just, you know, you'd argue, you know, that's the problem with that, with all that stuff, you know, that's just it. You would see the same thing possibly in Iraq, Afghanistan, if we just totally wiped the troops clean. You know, we have hundreds of thousands of troops and hundreds.
We got 900 military bases around the world.
We got 50,000 troops in Germany. I think he reduced
the
number.
We're an empire. Yeah. We're the new empire. Yeah. The new superpower.
Not the TV show.
We're the new British Empire.
The thing about the explosion is the NSA probably fucking knew, and they let him do it. All right.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind how they didn't catch that guy if he did any bank transactions, wrote anything at all on social media, or send a goddamn email.
James, they said they already say they reported him twice, the FBI.
They're not going to tell
that's
you.
Another thing that brings us to sort of an interesting point.
Even if they got him
gave
twice,
2 houses, so like
publicly. You're right. Maybe there's more.
Your TV's got a microphone on it. Your cell phone, even when you turn the cell phone off, it is still recording. All that had to happen is that guy got on some kind of list, and then they would have started listening to him. They want shit to blow up.
Sort of the transactions that he has too. I mean, so there's a woman in Los Angeles, 29 years old, named Michelle Swing. He gave her since early 2019 2 houses. Just gave 2 houses away, total value of like $500,000. I mean, the type of thing that this guy had to be doing, and I'm sure that we're going to see more of this coming out. Like there had to be some level of knowing that this was going to go on. It's like the accusations behind 9/11. People knew that this shit was going to happen, and nobody did anything about it. So the question is, what are they hiding? What is sort of the veil that they're trying to put up? What's happening behind closed doors when things like this are happening on the street, so that we're looking, oh, hey, look at this Nashville bombing going on, but what's happening behind the scenes that we're clearly missing at this point? And that's scary. That's a scary thought.
Well, I think one simple thing that most people miss about the NSA is that everyone thinks, oh, they're scooping up our information and they're listening to us. Not only are they, of course they're doing that, but what they're really doing is they're scooping up information and they're analyzing it, like how a corporation would do. Like a corporation would collect a whole bunch of information from Facebook or wherever, and they look at that information. They try to figure out who their clientele, what kind of people they are. So the NSA can scoop up everything from the United States, and they can tell if a civil war is coming or not. They can tell who's going to win the election. I mean, just imagine, just the little shit that we know Cambridge Analytica knew about the election. They're not even. But let's not get into that. But I mean.
But what's the difference there? I mean, it's okay when our government does it, but when the Chinese do it through TikTok, we're about going to start World War III over freaking the Chinese spying through TikTok.
Well,
doing the dances.
Here's another big misnomer that I don't believe is when they talk about how Russia is so ahead of us, or Russia's hacking this, or China's going to hack this. People don't realize we built the internet from the ground up. For the longest time, there was only 2 processors in the world that came in every device, AMD and Intel. Those are 2 American companies. Now, when they design those chips, they put in backdoors, our backdoors. Those chips go into every fucking device in the world. Does anybody remember a Russian CPU or a Chinese CPU? They don't even make fucking hard drives. Oh, wait, they make them over there, but we tell them how to make them. We have hard drives. We put our own back door on it. They make them for us, and they go all around the world. Who's used a goddamn Russian hard drive lately? Nobody. Those hard drives, those CPUs are in every server. They're in every computer, every mobile phone, every fucking device, every TV. Just like we were way ahead of Russia during the Cold War, we're fucking way ahead of them in the technological internet goddamn full spectrum dominance. There is no fucking way Russia is going to hack in to shit in America. If it happens, we let it happen. Sorry.
Well, so I'm interested to hear too. We talked about SolarWinds last week, so that's I'm really interested to see, especially the SolarWinds hack, the alleged backdoor going through with everything that happened there. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Can we report something as a backdoor Russian hack and then going in and getting all this information?
Do you remember?
I mean, is that internal?
Do you remember WikiLeaks had a leak once, and it was some documents of what the CIA does with their malware. Now, what they do is they create the malware and they use Russian symbols in the malware so that when the computer is attacked, people go, hey, Russia attacked my computer. When it was really America made that software, put the Russian words in there, or put the, Chinese words or Israeli words. So what it does is it confuses people on who hacked what. So in reality, in the real world, nobody knows who hacks what. Your job is to secure your goddamn firewall. Just like me, I don't really care who's hacking into my computer. I'm going to make it to where nobody hacks into my computer. I mean, Microsoft, the NSA can hack into your computer, but I'm talking, just average people.
But that's just it. I'd argue that Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, a lot of our elected officials are so damn old, they don't know what the hell a VPN
exactly
is.
Like, for instance, when Mark Zuckerberg went in front of Congress and they were asking him all these questions, those old stupid white fucks were too goddamn stupid to know the right questions to ask him.
Oh, agreed. And they thought they owned him. That was the best part. Is then like Fox News and CNN would be like, they really grilled Zuckerberg. And it's like, no, they didn't.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it was.
Well, the best thing is like going there like, oh, how do you guys make money? And like, we run ads. Like, ads is how we make our money. How do you not,
they
like,
sell data.
You're the product. That's why it's free.
That's crazy.
Like Cambridge Analytica, they probably paid millions for that data, and I don't think. Here's another thing you don't get on the CNN. I don't know if I've become smarter or just the news has become dumber, but I used to live 2 blocks from a library, and one of the subjects that I got on, I started reading about is like I read every book about the CIA. Now, when I started watching a few documentaries about Cambridge Analytica and what they do, I was like, oh, that's exactly what the CIA does. So, you know how, like now, after 9/11, a lot of things like the NSA, like Edward Snowden didn't actually work for the NSA. He worked for a corporation that was like Blackwater for the NSA. So, Dana Priest, who wrote the book Top Secret America, she estimated that after 9/11, our intelligence agencies have grown tenfold, right? So that means there's a lot of corporations that are doing CIA work now. A lot of corporations are doing NSA work, national reconnaissance work, satellites, all this kind of shit. But what Cambridge Analytica was doing was essentially what the CIA did before they had computers. Cambridge Analytica would just go into countries and flip elections. That's all they did. And one interesting thing that they did was they would go to a particular they could find out where these people lived, and they could target information to a particular group of people and tell them, it doesn't matter who you vote for because both politicians are the same. That's a technique that they use to win elections. Now, if you go on Facebook, you'll always have there's a certain amount of friends that you have. They go, oh, both politicians are the same. Oh, they're being targeted with information that tells them that. Even in America.
How many times have I heard left wing, right wing, same damn bird? Just in my lifetime.
It's not. It's stupid. I mean, they did a vote just recently where almost every Republican voted against legalization of marijuana, and almost every Democrat voted for the decriminalization of marijuana. That's a big fucking difference.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what it is. That's most Americans, just to kind of, add on to your point, that's what I think a lot of Americans are freaking worried about. They're not worried about money going to Egypt or money going to Israel. They're worried about if they're going to get sick, or are they going to be able to have a paycheck for their family?
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to afford health care?
We don't. Yeah, exactly. Well, you turn on the news. Notice how CNN and MSNBC. I don't really watch Fox, but notice who their sponsors are. almost every ad is a healthcare ad. It's a drug ad.
And Steven, how little do they talk about those issues that you just talked about? They don't talk about healthcare at all for 4 or 5 years.
It doesn't surprise me that we still don't have healthcare here in America. And what happened? The whole reason why people hate Hillary, because everyone's like, she's the most hated politician in America. Yeah, because I'm old enough to remember when she is first lady, she wanted to give everyone health care. And what happened? All the Republicans, everybody with any power at all, every goddamn newspaper just pounced on her, and they made her into this monster, when actually she was doing the right thing. She was way ahead of her time, and she got completely fucked. And how dare a first lady do something like that? Well, but since that time, they've been trying to get health care, and look how hard it is, because there's just so many fucking assholes
so
in this
much
country.
money on the other side of it. They're like, no.
Hillary Clinton is canceled.
It is. I have a friend actually that's paying something like $9,000 a month just on these shots for her mouth, right? Because she has trigeminal neuralgia. She pays $9,000 a month just in those shots, on top of the premiums, on top of the co-pays, on top of the drug prescriptions, on top of everything else. That's just for the one shot, right?
It's insane.
And yet, but she's actually against, public health care, because she's worried that it'll turn into like a Domino's 10-minute or less for patients.
Well, but you got to realize how much information people consume, whether it's Fox, CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, your local paper. I mean, when Trump came out and said the news is fake, everyone got pissed off. No, it's not. Noam Chomsky and Michael Moore have been telling you the news is fake for 30 goddamn years. 40 years. So only 6 corporations own 95% of the information you consume. Just because Trump said the news is fake doesn't mean he's not right. He's fucking right.
But you brought up tactics about distilling, trust in the voting system. That's another tactic that a lot of dictators use. How many times? Literally, I mean. Wasn't it Hitler that said, this was, press is the enemy of the American people? That was first, actually.
Hitler didn't say the press is the enemy of the American people.
Okay.
German people.
Something close. Or, the enemy of the American. The media is.
Well, I mean, if we had a real media that wasn't infiltrated by the power
Stephen, I would agree with you if it wasn't like James Clapper and like Andrew McCabe and James Comey and John Brennan. That's the media right now. It's literally the head of the NSA and the CIA.
And on the other side of the spectrum, we have Alex Jones and
oh, dude, you know what Alex Jones is?
Fuck sticks.
See, yeah, when you hear Alex Jones, most people go, "Oh, that guy's crazy. Look at these conspiracy theorists." No, look at what Alex Jones does. It's perfect. It's textbook disinformation. Now, what the CIA does is they'll take a crazy guy and they'll have him talk. Some of the shit that he says is true, and some of the shit is batshit insane. And what that does is it discredits the true shit. Now, when you read Alex Jones, you'll see that he talks about certain subjects. And notice that those subjects never end up in Time magazine or the New York Times in the more respectable press. That is called poisoning. That's how they poison the well. Now, I always kind of suspected that Jones was a disinformation agent working for, the CIA, obviously. But it turned out Anonymous hacked
he was in there. He was in there in Austin.
And they found that he was talking to Stratford, and Stratford is like Blackwater, CIA. It's a CIA corporation. They do the same thing that the CIA does, but it's, what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, he's working for Stratford. He is a disinformation agent. He's not stupid. He's doing that. He knows exactly what he's doing. And so he's keeping certain topics certain topics off of CNN. A good example is his.
Oh yeah, that's
gay
real.
frog thing.
That's real, James.
All right, so the gay frog thing, everybody makes fun of it, right? But what that actually is there's a chemical in our plastic. Plastic is ubiquitous in this culture. And this particular chemical, it affects the hormones of frogs. And it affects the hormones of frogs, it probably affects the hormones of humans, right? But the people that make plastic, they don't want that out in the news, because then they're going to have to stop making plastic, all right? So they get Alex Jones to talk about it, and he looks like an idiot, and then everybody makes fun of it, when it is a real fucking problem. I have a friend that works for the FDA. She's a scientist, and she goes, yeah, he's talking about this particular chemical, and this is what it does to the hormones in the frogs and hormones in human beings that we all touch. Pregnant women, they milk their baby with fucking plastic bottles. Everything is fucking plastic.
And plastic is oil. Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna cause me sucking a dick. Come on, let's be real here, man. You really think you're gonna?
No, that's not what he's saying. He's just saying they're putting extra hormones into the water supply.
What it does is when you start fucking with your hormones are very important. Like, yeah, for instance, like if you were to buy, you could buy testosterone. Men can rub it on their body, and it gives it. Now, that shit is dangerous. If your girlfriend accidentally gets that shit in her body, she starts growing a goddamn mustache. Then you don't want to fuck her, because it really has an effect on how human beings interact.
Stephen, the gay part discredits it, but the fact that there's excess plastic in the water is just the Pope says that's the biggest issue in the world right now.
There's been homosexual.
It can cause physiological changes.
That's where Alex Jones is going.
Yes, it's true. It's not like one or the other. There's
plastic in the water.
It's making the frogs gay.
No, I mean, right, but what he's really doing is he's trying to keep that story
and so we talk
out
about
of the news.
Frogs being gay
right?
or not gay.
So it's a bullshit story to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the story is created. It's what it's called is it's a weaponized idea. That's what they call it in the CIA. They have things called weaponized terms or weaponized ideas. And these ideas are like memes, and they want them to spread.
Absolutely, but that's my opinion, though. So, yeah, he knows exactly what he was doing.
Of course.
You said it yourself, right? But moving forward, we literally just had a guy that blew up a whole city street because of these conspiracy theories. Is he negligent? Is Trump negligent for saying this shit because he acts on it? A lot of people are going to go, yeah, he's a patriot. He's a patriot. He's doing the right thing.
Well, I think...
Where's the line, man?
All right, well, Trump is a product of the past 20 years, just like everybody else. Ever since 9/11, a lot of people have been skeptical of a lot of shit. Now, there's a big difference between typing something out on social media, because when I write something about 9/11, I've got 300 people jumping on that thread going, you're so stupid. But if you go to your local bar or just go anywhere and just talk to people, not on Facebook, people in real life, like at a party, right? You're at a party, you bring up 9/11. At least half of the people go, I think something is up with 9/11. At least, every fucking time. But you go on social media, you try to write something about 9/11, it's like, oh, you're the craziest guy. What are you, Alex Jones? Oh, I can't believe you'd have that. Blah, blah, blah. Facebook has a way of putting people together. Like, oh, this guy's talking about that. Let's bring in this guy. Chamber. Right. I got 4,000 friends. I mean, Facebook, did you hear about that test that they did where they said we're going to make everyone angry today, and so they could change the algorithm to pit people together and make them argue, and then we're going to make people happy today. They could do that shit now.
They did the same thing with voting. There was a study that somebody did where they basically said that they could come out and affect the way that people voted in primary elections by changing things within the algorithm and incentivizing them to do so. Like when a social media entity has that kind of power, I feel like that's problematic. There's no oversight. There's no responsibility. There were people at the very beginning came out and said, hey, this needs to be done. Nobody did shit.
Yeah. Everybody thinks that, anybody can post something and anybody can see it. No, you post something and they have ways of who are the people that are going to see that. The simplest example is if you post a link from YouTube of a video, you'll notice that you won't get very many likes. Now, you take that same video and you upload it, same exact video, and you upload it to Facebook's video, right? You'll notice that you'll get like 20 times more likes. 20 times more people will see that video because Facebook wants you to use their video program. They don't want people to go to YouTube. People go to YouTube, they're off of Facebook, and they're on YouTube now. So that's the simplest way to explain. If they can do that, they can match.
They do that to
together,
this very show.
You know?
Like and subscribe to this page. Because they really do. And I've known that on LinkedIn they do the same thing. They want to encourage you to post it natively.
Well, this means we got to put this all over the place, which means we'll make it happen. We're starting to run out of time a little bit, so we're going to cut everything short. But speaking of news and everything in it, I feel like we're probably just going to stick in this news thing, and I do need to get your opinion on this too, James. So NPR, Rolling Stone, and Pitchfork said that Cardi B's and Megan Thee Stallion's WAP song was the song of the year, and I really wanted to get your thoughts on that. Their quote is kind of crazy. This is to no surprise.
As a writer, as a comedian, I like words, and I like when they're all crammed together. I like some rap, like Public Enemy and NWA and Beastie Boys. Also, I like the comics that do the rants, right? So I heard all over social media about this WAP song, W-A-P, and I was like, oh, that thing's gonna suck because, I don't like that kind of music. But then when I listen to it, that song is funny as shit, okay?
Yeah.
And it's
Come on, man. I'm disappointed in you.
I mean, the song, the words that they use and what they're talking about, and there's some people that like to talk dirty.
I know, but it's like they're talking to James. Like, I like one of my favorite artists is I love Nicki Minaj.
We'd be out of a job if people didn't like that, James.
Here's what NPR is wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. Everyone's like, it's like it's
things
women
that I
celebrating
like,
their sexuality. That's not what's going on. It's trying to normalize the sugar daddy lifestyle. That's not
what
sex.
is wrong with sex?
No, it's not sex.
Sex is one of the funnest things in the world.
And I don't cook. I don't clean. Let me show you I got this ring.
You don't like the idea of a woman having sex?
Sugar daddy. It's
normalizing
young girls sleeping with record executives.
How many are? Wait, I've had these fucking conversations before. All right. Because this is what I've always wanted to do when I hear like this. What I'm hearing from you, Max, is
not
Puritan bullshit.
No,
all right,
cut that out. It's not Puritan bullshit.
All right, it's not Puritan.
It's
all right,
bullshit.
So
how many? How
many women have you had sex with, Max? Give us a fucking number. How many women have you fucked?
I'm saving myself for marriage. I'm saying zero.
I want to hear it. You tell me. Give me an estimate. Or if you know exactly.
Zero. I know exactly.
How many?
It's zero.
What do you mean? You're not a virgin. How many women have you had sex with?
That's not what this is about, James. This is
Rice and Beans exclusive.
Whatever.
No, it is about this. Because every time I hear one of these
James,
puritanical, whatever it doesn't matter when you talk negatively about women, or she's a slut, or she's a whore, or she's using her sex or something. 9 times out of 10, those people haven't done much fucking.
James, I'm saying, just watch the video. Have you seen the video?
Okay, so wait a second. How come you didn't tell us? I'll tell you right now. Right, that's another reason why you can't even tell us how many women you fucked.
I think you guys are really missing.
I've counted. No, this is the point. Because you think sex is dirty. You think the pussy is dirty. You probably don't go down on women, and you probably don't lick pussy because you think it's dirty. That's why you don't like the WAP song. Now, when I heard it, I was like, oh, that is some fucking sexy talk, and it's funny. Because when I have sex, one of the funnest things to do is talk about sex. Not just the sex act itself, but the woman that you're fucking, you get to talk dirty to her.
James, have you
That's
ever bought
fun.
a girl a car after having sex with her? Have you ever paid for a girl's college tuition?
Fuck no!
Have you ever had a girl around that doesn't cling, and you buy her rings? That's what the song's about. Like, it's not about sexuality. It's about young women having sex with older men.
Have you ever
Funny,
swiped
and
that
that's
nose
fucked
in the
up.
ass like a credit card, James?
Yeah.
That's what the song's
What are you
about.
talking about? You're such a no. You're such a literalist. Fuck, you gotta forget. It doesn't matter what the literal song is about. You gotta take that song into context.
Well, and that's
those
what
are
NPR
women
did.
who wrote that song, who are singing that song.
I'm sure some guys wrote that song too. And then 20 minutes ago, it was all about
those women are making millions of dollars off that song. They got enough money to buy me a car.
But now words don't matter.
Right.
Well, okay, so that's the interesting thing. The NPR point was really interesting. So just to go through real quick, to no one's surprise, a pair of women honoring... Go ahead, Steven.
I think the comedy of this situation, though, is that it's
That's what I'm disappointed in.
I think that's the funny part, right?
That song is good because it's funny.
When you think
women
NPR,
like
you think of
sexual
this
songs like that.
boring, monotone voice.
If you got NPR talking about that song, you know that song kicks ass.
I mean, that's a fair point. Very
Like,
fair
how
point.
do you not see
but
that?
also
Then maybe-
Rolling
then
Stone
maybe
did the same thing.
Some 80-year-olds want to increase their dating pool
Yeah.
by having Megan
what?
and a horse.
Yeah, you got a problem with hedonism? If you want to be a monk, go to a monastery, right? Some of us want to have fun.
Right, that's
You're
what you
actually, you know what
No,
you're
me
doing?
too.
You're
Well,
cock
you
blocking
can't-
all of
so
us
so
right
Cardi-
now.
so-
Max
so
Rice,
Cardi
you're
drugged
cock blocking
men,
us. Yeah.
And then robbed them, and then had transvestite her friends rape the passed out guys. Why isn't she canceled for that?
At
She
least
admitted to
they're
it.
look.
Cardi B admitted
What are you
to that.
talking
All
about?
of
This
us.
song
She's
is not about
canceled.
rape. This song is about
Number one
fucking.
nation by
This
NPR.
song is
She's
about
a hero.
sex.
It's fucking
This
Max
song
has
bullshit.
never,
oozes
Max has never been to a
sexuality.
Disney Channel party before, so it's okay.
Powerful women that
I
you
do.
don't
I
like.
said I
You don't
love
like
Nicki
the
Minaj.
idea of a powerful
Nicki Minaj
woman.
did the cooking and the cleaning. Cardi B is a literal
So
thief.
go. All right, go
I know.
listen to her shit.
No, it's not.
it's a song.
It's
It's
messaging. It's the number. So how about this, James? Do you know how many followers Cardi B has?
What about pornography?
That's a
What's
whole
pornography doing?
At least porn
if
says it's
WAP
porn.
is
Cardi B is
messaging.
kids pop. That's
Porn
children's
is like
music.
fully telling
James,
you
James.
we like to fuck,
James,
and
as
you
said,
should
you're
fuck
not,
too.
James,
We
you,
like
you
to
listen to this song by
fuck.
accident.
All right, so
The most people that listen to this song
You're
are
missing
young
the point.
girls.
You
and
like
now they're being
sex or
taught
not?
that it's cool to like sleep with people that can afford to give them a Jeep while they're on top.
yeah, look, talk to my girlfriend. She's a therapist. It's true. Yes, women who are 14, 15, 16, they have a sexual
James,
life too.
Is it normal? James,
They want to have
James, is it normal
boyfriends
for
just
a
like
13 or
everybody
14-year-old
else.
girl to sleep with a record executive. That's what the song's
Why
about.
It's, you know what? It's not normal.
Number
No,
one.
I mean, what's not normal is parents telling their 14, 15-year-old girl
It's
that she
over-
can't have a
over 30.
boyfriend.
It's over
or she
18.
can't even have a cell phone because they're worried that she's
How
going to
about
go
over
out
18?
and start
How about the time
hoarding
you
it
know that
around.
You can't date someone over 18 if you're 14. No, is that some Puritan bullshit?
They're 18. They can do what they want. You know, I just when I hear that shit, I just turn it off. I'm like, it's probably coming from
That's just
somebody
that's
that hasn't
dismissive.
done very much
Dismissive.
fucking. You look at people like the people that have like you never hear porn stars.
Yeah,
talk
you do.
about shit
Yeah,
like
you
that,
do. I think,
right?
one of the-
Because they're
I
like,
think one of the
I
big
like
ones was
sex.
saying that it was a
I'm getting
fucked up-
paid. Fucking. I mean, most smart porn sex, they're doing it because they like
I know,
it.
I'm more talking about the fact that it's promoted so much, and that it's number one on the radio, and it won a Grammy, and it's NPR's number one.
What about the 60s? The 60s, it was full of the sexual liberation movement or
was not about
songs
trying to sleep
about
with
sex
older
all
guys.
through the
This-
60s,
no, it was
the
about
70s,
like they were more like
the
we're gonna be
80s.
free to ourselves.
It's the devil's music!
Okay,
They
good.
knew. Look, everyone knew what those songs were about. In the 80s, they had disco.
Yeah, but
I wanna hold
Fucking
you
more
to
than
the
half those songs are about getting
You
laid.
need a J.O.B. Now it's like, I need to suck up to this older guy to get into college. That's not women's liberation.
I don't look. That's,
no, not
are you
necessarily.
talking about WAP?
Look at this.
It's
Okay,
a
so
song.
First of all,
Okay, so
there's,
WAP, if-
there's so many there's so many words in that song that you can't really
Yes, you
tell
can. Yes, you
anybody
really
what
can.
that
You
song's
really can.
about,
There's one
other
theme.
than
There's one theme.
fucking.
Is that you-
That song is about
older
fucking
men-
and
older
about
men
what
that
women
drink
like.
That's the thing. Okay, so
Right?
look
Those
at
are
the
women that are.
breakdown. The breakdown, as it says,
There's
at its
people that
core-
smoke weed. Guess
at
what?
its-
There's
at its
states.
core, WAP is Cardi
You're
Meg's
saying
Astronaut.
smoking
what I'm
weed
saying,
like that's
James. I'm
negative.
saying there's
We've got
all-
like
there's a
11
message to the
states
song.
now
There's a
that
message
have
to the song.
weed
My boyfriend
legal.
needs to be an older guy that can pay for things.
Well, that's okay. So
or
just
some
like I mean to go. So
degenerate.
and NPR's
They're
justification.
women that like money, so that's part of the joke.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
No, we're good. We're good. So NPR's justification, just to
Yeah.
sort of put this one to bed, and then we can move on. At its core, WAP is Cardi and Meg's assertion that their expression, both artistic and sexual, belongs to them and them alone.
No, they're
I mean,
sugar
that's-
daddies. It belongs to them and their sugar daddies that
They-
are buying
they
the
own-
cars,
they
that are
own
buying
the-
the
they own their
rings, that are
sexuality.
getting them through college.
Why
They
don't
got
you
men to
listen to
second
that
phone,
song
send her
again? Because I don't
pictures
think
of
you
her
know what you're talking
cushy.
about. That song is about
No, that song
fucking.
is about
That
sugar
song is
daddies.
about big cocks
And my
and
battery's
wet
about to die,
pussies.
so we gotta wrap this
Fucking.
up. My battery's about to die.
I don't think
Yeah.
Offset is buying Cardi B.
No, but we gotta hurry. Yo,
I
Mac, we
think
wrap
it's
this
the other
up.
way around there.
No,
Bye,
not.
Tap me out.
Yeah, no. So we're wrapping up now. This is good to go. Anyways,
What, you want
everybody,
to keep
this
going?
is. Well, as I wish we could, though. This is James Inman. Thank you all very much, or thank you, James, for joining us. Everybody, go down, like, subscribe. We're gonna make sure this one gets up on Facebook. We're not gonna be fucking throttled this week. But yeah, everybody, please go to Amazon Prime and look at the Unbookables. James Inman, thank you so much again for joining us, and we'll see y'all next
The
week.
Unbookables. It's great.
Yeah, watch my movie, The Unbookables.
Unbookables. James Inman. Available now, Amazon Prime. After that, like, subscribe to our show.
Motherfucker. Thanks, everyone.